about. And so for those of you that are now on the webinar, it is a joy to see so many faces that I know, so many faces that I've been on this journey recently, as I just gave a big shout out to my mate, John and Janet, who have been with us for a little over 2 years, who believed in a few guys going, it's going to go up, who I'd hate to see what your portfolio looks like today. Please don't tell anyone, okay, because it'll depress them a little bit. The point is that what's good about it is understanding that what we have been talking about for the last 2 years is coming true. And what I want to do is to prepare you for what's going to happen in this next stage, because actually what happens with all new industries is that they move in waves. They do, and even within a wave, they move within waves, okay? And I find in the discussions that I've had recently that people really aren't quite sure about what's happening. They want to take action, okay? They want to take action. They want to have the confidence to do that. And so I hope I'm going to be able to provide that sort of knowledge. And as I said, I want to move relatively fast through this to give us a bit of time for question and answers at the end. Sound cool? Yeah, sound cool. So as I said, I'm going to move through relatively quickly to ensure that we are able to go through this thing as fast as we possibly can. So let me just organize these slides for us, and then we'll be rocking with gas. Okay, cool. Just this, you gotta love technology, don't you? Okay, cool. All right, now we just want to get that going. Oh, see, Daisy. Tell me when you can see it. Can you see it okay? Does it say why buy crypto today, Ed Ludbrook? You got that? Fantastic. Fantastic. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Ed Ludbrook. I'm the founder and CEO of Dacxi. We are a crypto wealth platform, okay? And I say that because I want to be so clear. Our focus is about wealth. And it is one of the sort of 3 ways of looking at crypto. You can either be a trader, so you're actually looking for those short-term moves. My mate Andy Tran is there. He's a professional trader. He knows more about this stuff than he's forgotten more about trading than most of us will ever know. There are other guys that are having a punt on this stuff, and there are other people who look at crypto as an investable. What's that? Investable, an investable asset class. Okay, so it's an area that you invest in. And so what I want to do is to now, as I said, why buy it today? Okay, we want to look forward and say, how does this work? Obviously, what I'm going to do is I'm just educating. I'm not giving any financial advice or anything like that, but I will have strong opinions. Okay, and I'll have strong opinions because I want you to take action on all of this. All right, for those of you that, as I said, that don't know me, I am a futurist. Okay, I have been talking about the future and writing about the future for nearly 30 years. I'm an expert in financial opportunities and new markets. My books have sold more than 2 million copies in 20 languages. I've also sold over 1 million in audio versions. I have founded a $1 billion company in the last tech boom. And now I've been in crypto full time since the end of 2015. I'm the founder and CEO of Dacxi, which I founded in the middle of 2017, before the first real boom in crypto. And my passion is actually helping people get involved in this space. Okay, and I like doing that because I want people to get involved in this area, because when you understand about it, you'll understand the potential of it to impact your life. So my motivation is really about impacting people. And I put that in, okay, I saw that, take it, your attention please, because, I think half the world does this thing, lives life asleep. Okay? And I'm not talking about you, Bruce. I really am. All right? The point is that you got to pay attention to what's happening. Otherwise, you're really going to miss out on things. And a lot of people in the shit, do you know that's a picture of a guy whose job it is to clean the sewers in Bangladesh? Like, I was thinking about what is the worst job you could possibly have. I reckon a sewer cleaner in Bangladesh has got to be in there, but there have been and are people that have been in the crap. And earlier this year, people were worried, and I took that slide actually from a presentation I did in March, which I said be positive, because when the Chinese image for crisis, they say, has actually two images. One, it's a time of danger, and the other one, it's a time of opportunity. And those people that got in there and bought Bitcoin at sort of 5,000 or whatever it was about 7,000 Aussie dollars, they've done okay, right? They have done okay, and it was bloody obvious. It was bloody obvious that it was going to go up. And so I hope some of you were smart enough to do that. I hope some of you, and when you look at all the chaos at the moment, it is a great time to take advantage of opportunities. And when I say, hey, why should you be buying it today? I'm saying the reason is crypto has started to boom. Okay. And it's got like at least five times potential growth. And it's never had a better risk reward. It's all very well me turning around and saying, hey, look, you should have got in March, or you should have gone in 2018. But the reality for most people, that risk reward was too much. You get that? The risk reward is actually too much. But now, for a huge percent of the population, now's the best time, because we have that evidence that people need to have for them to get involved in this space in wealth. But no one gives a crap about you punting $200 on some Bitcoin. Do you understand? Does everyone get what I just said? No one cares. If you go, oh, I bought $200 worth of Bitcoin, no one gives a damn. It's all, you've just bought a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
For you to actually have an impact on your wealth, for you actually to take advantage of this opportunity, okay, you need to do more than that. And so I asked the question, what's it going to take for you to go what they call all in? Okay? What's it going to take for you to have the confidence to be able to do that? Because when you look at the first wave of crypto, okay? When you look at the first wave of cryptos, you can see with that graph. Can everyone see that graph okay? You
Yes.
see it okay? So look, the first wave, which sort of started in 2009, it then in late 2017 went into a peak. That first wave pioneered the technology. It made crypto aware for the public. Before that, it was sort of geeks and maybe you heard about it, but suddenly it was on our televisions. But what drove that boom was actually a very small niche of people. They were traders, they were speculators. It was very Asian driven. And then what happened was there was this new coin concept called an ICO that came in, and the results were people were just, literally it was like a casino. A lot of people were winning, and then the bubble burst and a lot of people lost. And in 2018, it was hard promoting this business because people were saying, Ed, it's just going down. How far is it going to go? Bitcoin is now 4,500 Australian dollars. Is it ever going to go up?
17,000.
Okay. So, you know, it was that sort of environment, and that was the first wave. And now, since this graph shows the total capitalization of crypto, you can see that first boom. Yep, can you see that in January on the left-hand side? You can see that first big spiky boom, end of 2017. It trails down in 2018. So the start of that red arrow is the start of 2019. And the market has gone up and down, but it's gone up a lot. You know, this is a big growth wave. You cannot tell me of any other asset class in the world that has had this sort of growth. And so now we're coming into its second wave. And I put that arrow there because I don't know whether you can see it. If you just have a look at that graph, have a look. Can you see 2020?
Yes.
And so you'll see between 2020 and 2021, obviously there's a little line there where the arrow is pointing, and that's where we are at the moment. And if you look from where that is across to the left-hand axis, which says $1 trillion and then 1, 2, and 3, do you see that? You'll notice that it sits, so I'm sort of saying that's about $500 billion in market cap. Do you know what it is today? It's about $500 billion market cap. Thank you very much. I did this months and months and months ago. And my point is that look at the graph. All those numbers, if you look at the early numbers from 2019 to 2020, the market basically has gone on that wave. And so this next wave is when cryptocurrency as a concept, as a usability, goes mainstream, and it's driven by these big financial institutions, these consumer giants, and the market, and by people like you, the retail market getting interested in it. And people talk about, oh, it was negative. In reality, as an asset class, crypto was the best performing asset class in 2019 and has been the best performing asset class in 2020. And those are numbers that you can't argue with, because it isn't just sort of a crappy sort of industry anymore. Like every week I could add another big name, whether it's a big financial institution, a big bank, a big payment processor, big insurance company, or it's a big retail organization, like a big e-commerce, like a big, you know, like any of these big names that people get confidence from. And what you should understand is that, you know, we've been talking about these guys coming in for a long time, okay? What happens is that these guys take time to come in. Does everyone understand that?
Yes. So
you have this noise in 2017, you have this collapse in 2018, and people have been really quite skeptical about whether the market's going to evolve. And we're saying it is, we can see it, we can hear about it, but these guys have taken time. But when they get going, if you know anything about big corporates, they take time to move. But when they move, the resources they have, they're not like a little splash, they're like a big tide. Does everyone understand that? They're like a tide. And I've been saying for 2 years, for everyone, you need to get ahead of the tide. And what happens, it will push you along. Got it? It's like someone who bought a property 20 years ago, right? You can't tell me that they bought a property because they're such a guru in property investing. The reality is the market, the price of their property is probably up 300% or something like that, simply because this wave, this geostrategic wave has pushed along. And that is the same with the crypto market, okay? And what should give you confidence when you see these organizations is that in reality, we've seen a bit of growth, but it's not very big growth given the scale of the world organizations. Does everyone understand that? Okay, so when a Singapore Stock Exchange or a NASDAQ or a Union Pay or an Alipay or a Fidelity Investments, they don't go. Fidelity Investments, for those of you that don't know, is, I think it's the world's largest fund manager. It controls, it's not a BlackRock, it's the largest organization of actually doing wealth management. I think they've got about $6 trillion. So you can imagine They don't do anything unless they expect their clients to buy billions. Hundreds of billions. Do you understand? They don't do something for $1 billion. When they're thinking about their people investing, they're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars, and the impact of that is obviously pretty huge. And so what you need to understand, when I talked about the first wave and the second wave, and the first wave and the second wave, a lot of people think, oh, well, I've missed out. You haven't, okay? The search, Alta Vista pioneered the first wave, Google did the second. Social, MySpace did the first wave, Facebook did the second. When it comes to mobile, it was all about Nokia. Now it's about iPhones and Androids and crypto. It was, who knows? Who knows? Was a first wave. Who's going to be the Nokia or Alta Vista or MySpace of crypto? But we certainly know who's going to try and take it on. So Facebook have turned around and said, we're going to lead this next thing. Dacxi has turned around and said, we are going to lead the wealth space. So payments payment thing is the PayPal, and DBS. You've never heard of DBS, right?
Yeah.
So DBS is the largest bank in Southeast Asia. It is owned by the Singapore government. If you ever go to Singapore, that biggest tower in Singapore, that's DBS, all right? That's ANZ on steroids, the DBS, and they have announced that they are launching their crypto platform. And I have actually, 2 weeks ago, the boss of crypto for DBS Worldwide gave me a call, because we actually were quoting on providing them with an exchange. And we went out to dinner and we had a great laugh, and he just gave me a call to say hi and asked me when I'm coming to Singapore next, because he thought, in his words, he thought that I had the best view on the crypto market that he's found in 2 years. And he said, yeah, we are going to lead crypto in Southeast Asia. Got it? What would happen in Australia because most people on this thing are in Australia, what would happen in Australia if Westpac went into the media tomorrow and announced that they were going to lead crypto in Australia? Well, do you understand what I mean? The game changed, mindset changed. All your negative friends and family who said, oh, are you still in that crypto BS? Okay. You get that chance to go, over the Christmas beer and turn around and go, hey, you're still rude about my Bitcoin, dickhead. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's what's coming down the track. We've known that. And so, look, the key thing to understand. So the first lesson, I'm going to teach you 7 lessons. Okay. The first lesson is that buy guys. It's meant to say big guys. Sorry about that. I must be getting blind. That's meant to say the big guys buy because of long-term value. So the big boys are coming in. They're not coming in to speculate. You got that? They're not coming in to speculate. It takes them a long time to come in. So they're coming in now. So if you're going, oh, I think I've missed it, you don't understand. If the big guys are putting hundreds of millions or billions into crypto today, it's because their analysis shows that this market has a long way to go. Do you understand? Okay, do you understand? So, middle of last year, this was the middle of last year, Alibaba, Amazon, and Alibaba, PayPal, and Amazon say no to cryptocurrency. This was the announcement today. PayPal CEO, so you can see 24th of November 2020, PayPal CEO says he's bullish on Bitcoin. You got to understand that, the big boys say, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, until they actually launch doing it. DBS has been saying for 2 years to the world that they're not going into crypto. Yet behind the scenes, they're negotiating with us. The global CEO of DBS agreed to put a crypto exchange in place in May 2018. And it's taken them till now, 2.5 years later, to actually make it happen. And they do it because of the potential. They look at the size of the market today and realize that it hasn't touched what it is. It's like half a $1 trillion today. And when you look at the potential of the cryptocurrencies, the incentive tokens, and the asset tokens, you see that the potential is somewhere between 5 and $15 trillion. And that's trillion with a capital T. That's trillion with 12 zeros after it. Got it? Everyone get it?
Yes.
So don't even think that you've missed it. The big boys are only just coming in. And you really think those big fund managers would be recommending to their clients to get into crypto today if they thought that the market is gone and their people can lose money? Duh, of course not. Second thing, okay, Bitcoin booms first, all right? So Bitcoin leads the market because the big boys focus on that. They understand Bitcoin, so they focus on that. That's the talk of the market. And so when you look at the Bitcoin graph today, you see once it broke that line, you see that big red line, it's in US dollar terms, it's around $14,000. I think in Aussie dollar terms, it was around $20,000. As soon as it broke that, it then went up and started to chase what's called the $20,000 level. So the $20,000 level is the previous all-time high in crypto. And so when we look at the price today, I'm not sure what it is in Aussie, but because I look at it on a global scale in US dollars, it's tracking around 18,500. It jumps up between 18,700, then down to about a little bit under 18,000, but whenever it gets low, it keeps on being bought up. So what's going to happen? It's going to have a go at 20,000. Okay. So is it going to break 20,000 by Christmas? No one has any idea. And if anyone tells you that they know, slap them because they're bullshitting themselves. You're not doing it for you. You're doing it for their own thing. Give them a slap. All right, because no one knows. All we know is that in the long term, it'll get there. Got that? So the first thing that happens, okay, the first thing, remember, first lesson was to understand that the big boys are buying value. They understand the potential, so they're investing for a much bigger move than what we're seeing. Second thing, Bitcoin goes first. Once Bitcoin goes, what happens is then the other big blue chips follow because that's what the big boys are buying as well. So if you look at PayPal, which is probably the largest consumer organization to join this space, because PayPal, don't forget, has 350 million clients in the world. Okay, 350 million. PayPal is actually worth $250 billion. It's an enormous organization. Look at the assets that they are offering. Can you see them? Announced they will soon support Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. Got it?
Yes.
All the other big organizations, they focus on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and normally Litecoin. Okay. Bitcoin Cash sometimes get promoted. What are the 4 assets on the Dacxi exchange? Okay, it's not an accident that we just offer those 4 assets. Okay, but we don't want to put them all in our blue chip bundle. So we drop the Bitcoin Cash because we've got Bitcoin and focus on the Litecoin. And see how they're talking about crypto asset purchasing limit to 15,000. They don't want people to buy a couple of $100 worth because they know it'll have no impact on your wealth. The reality is that now that the Bitcoin has gone, now the reason why these other coins, the other big coins are growing so much is because, can you see that big graph there? Can you see that? Okay.
Yep.
So that, you see that on the left-hand side, you see how I've got 1,367. So that's where, that was the previous all-time high. So when Bitcoin hit its previous high, that's where Ethereum was. So now that Bitcoin has gone to its previous all-time high, everyone's saying, hey, Ethereum is going to follow. And at the moment, it's $609. And so people are saying, hey, it's still got at least 100% more growth in it. Okay. And that's why you'll see that Ethereum is growing so strongly. Okay. And when we look at Litecoin, it has even more potential. At the moment, it's 86 bucks. Its previous all-time high was $348. Okay. And the point of this is just to tell you that this graph here is what it is the dominance of Bitcoin. So the brown line that you can see is a percentage that Bitcoin dominates the marketplace. At the moment, it's around 60%. And what that means is the value of Bitcoin is 60% of the total market. And when this thing drops, as you can see it has in the circular area, which is when the market boomed last time, what happened was suddenly the value dropped, okay? And you can see these other ones grew. But what I want you to really appreciate is that the logical evolution of the market is Bitcoin goes, and then the other blue chips go. So you can see underneath that red ring, you can see the blue and the white. What they are is Ethereum and Litecoin, okay? And so what happens is that there has been that focus, but what people now tell me is they go, oh, well, the key thing is to buy all these other altcoins, all these other crypto coins, and you know, that's the idea. Well, I just warn you. I warn you that that may be a huge mistake, because the really big new money that's coming into the market, that's coming from the big institutional financial organizations and the big retail things, they're not buying these little coins. All the money is Madge, and all these people are coming in through organizations like Dacxi and like PayPal. You know, we're not offering those coins. Does everyone get that? We're not offering those coins. The money is not going into these altcoins. And I was showing people this morning that that what had happened to the 48th, 50th, 48th, 49th, 50th, 51st, and 52nd largest coins in the marketplace. Okay, and what I showed was that if you had bought the 48th largest coin at the start of this year, you know, the market had gone up a couple of 100%. If you bought the 49th, it had gone up by 3,000%. If you bought the 50th, it had gone up 1,300%. If you'd buy the 51st, it had gone up 10%. If you bought the 52nd coin, it had gone down. And what I mean is that I don't think you know which coin to buy, whether you wouldn't know whether you'd buy the 52nd or the 48th. You just go, oh, that's a pretty good story. And so your chances of buying a coin which was the wrong coin. Do you understand my message? Do you understand my message? Your chances, if you start getting on in all of these little coins, you may pick the one that will go up 20 times. But if you don't know about it, you're just as likely to pick the coin that goes down. Got it? Get it?
Yes, got it.
Because people, I get these people. That's why the smart strategy is to buy this blue chip bundle that we recommend. We don't promote it as an accident. It's based on the most fundamental research. You need to go, you know, Bitcoin went first, then Ethereum, then Litecoin, then Bitcoin will go, then Litecoin, then Ethereum, then, do you understand? It'll, because that's where all the big money is going on. And don't be surprised if these boom and the other ones don't grow at all. Okay? And that's just a factor of people understanding the quality of the marketplace and really just understanding what's happening. Okay? Does everyone get that? All right. So, okay, now let's think about 2021. What do you think will happen in 2021? Good question, right?
Nobody knows.
Good question. Well, the fact is that because the major organizations are putting money into the blue chip coins, they should have a good year. Got it? We know if you split them into the big blue chips, those 3 or 4 big coins, and the rest of the market, we know that those should have a pretty good year because that's where the money is. But what I want you to do is to really have a good think about what is your motivation for doing this? What's your motivation for doing this? Why are you getting into this thing? Because you need to understand that, you know, I love this graph here. This graph here is produced by the British government, latest research. It shows the amount of money that people have in crypto. And so it shows that 50% of the market has what is the equivalent of about 400 Australian dollars, okay? Even as high as 80% of the marketplace, actually a couple of million people, they've only got 2 or 3 grand. And for a lot of people, obviously that's still a punt, okay? The fact is that for most people, they are still, and I mean like more than 95% of people are still treating it as a punt. So know your motivation, because when we look forward, the next lesson is simply that you're going to buy a trend, okay? You're going to buy a trend. My beautiful graph, okay? My beautiful graph looks fantastic, but it's not real. The way it really works is what happens on the right hand side. Does everyone understand it? It goes up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And if you tie your emotions to those up and downs, you're in trouble and you'll panic and you'll go, oh, it hit $30,000. I need to sell. Okay, when it should be going to $100,000. Does everyone get it?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
these aren't BHP shares. All right, they're still in this thing where they're learning. So you got to understand that you're buying a trend here. Okay. Now the next thing I want to talk about is what I call the currency wars, because next year I think that's going to dominate the conversation around the crypto space. And when I mean currency wars, what I'm talking about is the payment currency use case. There are literally 8,000 or 9,000 cryptocurrencies in the world, and all of them have a specific use case. Got it? So they're there to either solve a problem or create an opportunity. So the one of them is as a payment currency. So they're like money. And there are 3 different groups that are launching these new crypto-based ones. The first one is the government, okay? So we're talking CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. And central banks are changing their money onto crypto because crypto solves the double spend problem with digital money, okay? The Reserve Bank of Australia have said that they don't see a reason to do it, okay? And they say that because they don't know what they're going to do. All right? It's not because they don't really understand it. Now, if they say that they're not going to do it, but already China, Japan, India, Europe, and all these other countries are in the process of launching theirs. So do you really think that all the major countries in the world are going to launch their currency in crypto and Australia isn't?
No.
Okay, they're only saying that because some dickhead in the Reserve Bank doesn't think his career is based on saying something stupid. Because saying is stupid. So what's going to happen is, as China, as Japan, as the UK, as Europe, as the buzz gets on about this will start to be a conversation that you will hear out, okay? Because there'll be a big discussion about, if the Reserve Bank launches its own cryptocurrency, doesn't mean we need cash anymore. Well, the answer is no. Okay. And if they get rid of cash, there's going to be, but poor people want cash. Not everyone has a mobile phone, blah, 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 blah. So you're going to get that whole conversation. You know, there'll be all that conversation, and all you got to know is that obviously it's going to happen. And what you do is to say what I say. Do you know what I say? I just say, of course it's going to happen. They just are working out how it's going to happen. It's going to take time. And do you still question the credibility of crypto technology? Because if you're questioning crypto technology, yet all the central bank, the largest central banks in the world are using it, then you're just an idiot. Okay? It's okay to call people an idiot because some people are idiots. Okay? You just have to not listen to them. The second group is which is, I think, will be the big news, actually, will be next year, will be around what's called stable coins or tokens. So a company issues a token that represents a fiat currency. Okay, so what happens at the moment, it's around the US dollar. Okay, so Tether has, I think, I don't know, about $20 billion Australian dollars worth of US dollars all wrapped up. And the key thing about this technology is it allows you to do global e-commerce, because suddenly it's really easy to send money around the world. And instead of sending money, you're sending actually a digital version of a dollar. Because if you want to send an Australian dollar to someone, it actually has to go through either Westpac, ANZ, and then it has to go through the banking system. And that's a racket that they use to make a whole lot of money, which is why it's why you can send an email in 1 second, but it takes like 2 days for the actual digital money to go. Okay, it's just a racket. And they hate this, right? And the big thing that's going to change it all is Facebook. Because we haven't heard about Facebook, have we?
Well, we have.
And, you know, Facebook, as far as having a coin, do you really think that they are not using their massive resources to organize the launching of their own stable coins? Come on. Of course they are. And when they hit, what's going to happen? The
marketplace.
Panic. They're going to panic because they have like $100 billion in cash sitting in the bank. And all they don't even need other people's money. They can just go, here's $100 billion worth of US dollars in a Libra stable coin. And suddenly people can, using a Facebook crypto wallet, they can send money. Why do you think they just merged the wallets of Messenger, WhatsApp, and Instagram into one wallet on one technology platform? Duh. It's because they're going to convert it into a crypto wallet. So you'll be able to send money all around the world for nothing. Okay? And what? You don't think they're going to launch next year? Come on. And then there's all the independents. So what I mean by the independents is that that's all the decentralized, that's Bitcoin and its friends. And there's a specific market for that, because do you trust Facebook?
No.
Hell no. Do you trust the Chinese government, the Australian government with your money? Hell no. That's why there's always going to be a market for this other stuff. So it's easy. Okay. So what's going to happen? I want to summarize here. So the first thing I said was what? Really big potential. The big boys are involved because it has potential. Number two, I said that Bitcoin will go first. Because Bitcoin goes first, then those other big altcoins, the big blue chips, will follow. Okay? Just because they go does not mean all the other little coins, but I can imagine, well, we're already seeing a lot of the other little coins are going to hit the marketplace. Okay? And what you have to do is you just have to follow the trend. Don't worry about it squiggling around a little bit. Just imagine that it's going to keep going. Understand you should have a portfolio mentality to this. and just ensure that you're going. And so what we're going to see next year is the market is going to go up, but you're going to see a whole lot of talk about these stable coins and government coins and this fight between all of this stuff. Okay? Does everyone understand that? And it's going to give credibility to crypto. And what will happen is that probably in the first quarter of next year, you will see a tidal wave of new coins hit the market. Okay? Because that's what happened last time. And what happens is there'll be lots of traders sitting on huge profits because they bought crypto, 6 months ago. And not only did that, they bought it on 10 times leverage. So they had $1 million times by 10. And when that goes up by 500%, you make a lot of money. All right. And so what's going to happen is that they are then going to look for new opportunities. So they're going to cash out of some of their profits and they're going to look for the new hot products, the hot coins. Why do you think we are listing the Dacxi coin now? Duh. Okay. People have asked me, it's like, why? Well, it actually makes real sense. Okay. It makes sense. What we're doing is we're turning around and understanding what the marketplace is. You've got to have this blue chip thing go now. And then what you do is you're positioning. We're positioning the Dacxi coin, okay, the DAC coin ahead of this trend, which will be people who all these guys who've been getting involved with crypto for the last 2 or 3 years, and they've been putting their money. They would have made a lot of money in this boom, and they will be taking profits and wondering, where do I put my money? Where is the next opportunity, the solid one that has 10, 20 times potential growth? And that's why we're launching the DAC coin. Got it?
Yes.
Makes sense. And that's why we're positioning, we're just positioning it to make sure that the coin grabs that opportunity in the market. We're not going to wait, we don't want to wait for a year or anything like that. That's why we're taking the action now. It's why we didn't take the action a year ago. And that's the logic. It makes a lot of sense. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so for us, it's a matter of just saying, okay, as I said, you can see the points looking. So that's the big boys are going to drive the market. The talk is going to be about crypto, about these currencies. We'll see this growth, and then you'll see the traders looking for all these sort of new coins. You just got to make sure that you have the confidence to be involved in this, okay? And that's the great challenge for people. You can listen to me as much as you like, but fundamentally, you've got to turn around and have the confidence to overcome your fears, to be able to go what I call all in. Now is the time to go all in, okay? As a guy I was telling you about before I actually started this webinar, there's people who got in early, this guy that I was asking for the references, he said, I'm just selling my house. He said, I'm actually probably going to put the money that I've made out of my house, I'm probably going to put it into crypto. Do you know what I told him? I certainly didn't say keep it in the bank. And I certainly said, I didn't say, oh, don't put in enough money that you can afford to lose. Because that's the sort of advice that you give to someone going to a casino. I turned around and I went, smart strategy. Do it. So he's putting his life savings into crypto. Smart strategy is what I said. Good job. Good idea. Because when you understand that how smart it is, it's better that he puts money into crypto rather than putting the money into the most overblown, overpriced property market in the history of the world. Okay, so what's going to be smart? And the key thing for you is just to make sure that you get the sort of support that you need to really have a crack at this and have a go. At Dacxi, we're very proud of the support we give. We give better support than any organization in the world. You cannot tell me of another organization that will help you learn and build your confidence than we do. That's why this whole era of crypto for people involved with us is the best opportunity, because you know, you've got to ask yourself, what would you do if you knew you could not fail? If you knew crypto was going to go up by 100%, 200%, what would you really do? If you knew that it was going to happen, what would you do? You'd sell your bloody car, wouldn't you? You would. You would. You can take an Uber for 6 months. And that's the key. When you're in the right place at the right time, you need to do that. And therefore, you need to act today. And so my point is, you need to act today. You need to act now. You need to act immediately. You don't need to wait. You really need to take this sort of action. You get what I mean, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's a matter of just trying to help you guys get clear about this market. For those of you that you know have never yet heard me speak about these sort of things before, you know, this market will evolve. What will happen is that it'll have this boom, and somewhere at the end of the year, or maybe into the next year, it will evolve. The market for crypto, for Bitcoin and Ethereum, those blue chip things, that market will then, the opportunity will tail off, and you need to have those new opportunities. And when that happens, Dacxi will be ready. Okay? So we'll help you over the next year, but we'll certainly help you the year after that, and that, and that, and that. Because there is a lot more potential in this market. You just have to have AFSL licenses. You've got to have the right products. You've got to have the right support to really take advantage of all this. Does everyone get what I'm saying? Cool, guys. Do you have any questions? We had a little bit of a disruptive start with all this, you know, this Dickie Zoom thing kicking us out. So, but I hope now you appreciate. I hope now you appreciate that this is, you are in the right place at the right time. I hope you share this message to as many people as you possibly can. Okay? Because if you really are a friend, if you really are someone who cares about people, you have to tell them. Look, honestly, it does not matter to me where they get their crypto. Honestly, it really does. It doesn't. I hope they get it with us, because I think we'll look after them better than anyone else. Everyone else will just do a transaction. We'll actually give a damn about them and help them after they buy. But frankly, I also just want people to get involved. Okay? And, you know, as a company, as Judy's asked, what sort of things? Look, there are at the moment, if you look at the crypto market, really, if you're going to buy just crypto, okay, that blue chip portfolio product is the right thing to buy. Don't just buy Bitcoin. Don't just buy Ethereum. Don't just buy Litecoin or something like that. That is dumb, okay? The word is dumb. I don't want to use stupid, because you don't want to call an Aussie stupid, because I was in the army in Australia. If you call an Australian stupid, you better be a good fighter or a fast runner. Okay, so I'm not going to call you that, but you got to be a bit crazy, right? So you should always have that portfolio approach, because if you did, you'll earn a much better return. So we have that blue chip bundle, which we have proven is the best product in the world for people if they want to get that exposure. Second thing, a lot of people, they want to diversify, which is why the precious metals, it's great. You know, the precious metals thing has done super well. And lastly, this you know, as I think I showed you, the DAC coin is the coin of our ecosystem. So the next generation after this Bitcoin Ethereum, the next generation of crypto is going to go into innovation funding. It's tokenization of opportunities, okay, which I'll tell you more about later on, but it's the next big thing. When I showed you the potential of the marketplace, you notice I was talking currencies being 2 to 5 billion, and there was this thing called asset tokens that was 5 to 10 billion. That is when Dacxi is going to lead the market. Got it? And that's why when we talk about the potential of our coin, we talk about it in terms of, you know, having 10 to 20 times potential growth. Its potential growth is dramatically more than those other big coins. And for us, it was a matter of just finding the right time to list it. We didn't, you know, imagine listing it a year ago. Like, you'd been mad. We've been waiting for this market to evolve. Now that it's starting to evolve, it is the right time to go through the process, which is what we're doing now, which is why the Dacxi is going to be stopped soon. All right. So that's why that program that we offer has dramatically more potential than anything else we offer. Okay. Now, I just want to answer some of these questions. Is there any slump for Bitcoin in regards to correction or resistance? There is always. Like, I would be amazed if crypto wouldn't correct. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes down to 14,000. Okay, you know, or I'm not sure about 14,000 because everyone will be buying much before that, but I wouldn't be surprised whether it went down to 16,000. Do you know what I mean? As I said, it's going to go like this. Do you understand? It'll correct and then go up, correct and then go up, and then drop down a bit and go up. Remember, you buy trends, okay? You buy trends. You buy now because, you know, the view is in a year's time, it's going to get up to, you know, it's going to get up to 100,000 or more, but it'll just fluctuate on the way there. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, it says, as it was just commented, the big financial organizations are buying it now. They don't buy things for a 1 month view or a 3 month view. They just don't. They buy big and they buy long. Okay. So if they've got $20 billion of assets under management, they don't buy $10 million worth, they buy 50 or 100 or $200 million worth, and they keep it for a year or two. Does everyone get it? And they're coming in now, okay? I've been just asked, do I think there's going to be a shortage? I hear there already is, because PayPal in 1 month now is the largest buyer of crypto in North America. In 1 month, it overtook the largest corporate supplier. So yeah, it would be. Hey, what happens if there's a shortage?
Price will go up.
Yeah, would that be a bad thing?
No.
No, that's a good thing. Okay. So are there any more questions, guys? No. Okay, look, that's fantastic.
Hey, Ed, sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Just a question on the actual Dacxi platform. So how does that operate? Are we just buying a package and sitting on it, or is it being
all you
we have to refer people? What happens?
Sorry, I missed you. I missed that last bit.
Do we have to refer people, or is it just a matter of that our package gets traded, or how do we actually earn from it?
No, all you do is that, you know, the primary customer opportunity is simply you buy crypto and you store it with us, and when the price starts to get up and at higher levels, we'll be telling you that maybe you want to think of selling some. But the point is that you'll be able to see your own portfolio and see its performance. And so that primarily is the opportunity. We have our customers buy crypto because that's a smart thing to do for their wealth. Okay. If you want to recommend that, we have a partner opportunity, which I think a lot of people on this webinar are actually on the partner opportunity, which if they recommend, you will earn money for doing that.
And what's the cost involved?
To do a partner? There's no cost. There's no partner opportunity. Is just, look, we want you to share the love. Okay, so it's like, do that. That'd be great.
No, but just to buy in though, like, so if I'm buying in, is there a cost for me, like for you guys to hold on to my packages?
No, not at the moment. No. So just all you do is just decide. You just got to decide how much crypto you want to buy, okay, and which of the 3 packages. Like I can tell you, because the price is going up on the DAC coin by 25% next Tuesday. So, and there might be another price increase before we go on the listing process. So the reality is that the price of the price of DAC coin we've only put it up 57% this year, where you imagine Ethereum is already up something like 250%. And actually the potential for us is a lot better than theirs. So, you know, we're purposely conservative, okay, because we just, you know, we want to list the coin and for it to go bang, basically. We want to have so much value in the coin. So when it's like, we don't mind if you guys get it at a better price. Yeah, so, but as I said, you just decide what you think is right, okay? And if you want information on that, we've got lots of information that can help you. It's a pretty simple decision, to be brutally honest. You know, we hope that the whole process is so simple, it's crazy. The great challenge actually is building your confidence so you can actually buy at levels that will impact your wealth. Do you understand? You buy a couple of $100 worth of crypto, you know, gee whiz, it goes up. You know, you can have a nice dinner out. Okay, it's the wealth. To be able to buy at a level that'll impact your wealth is the key to being able to do that. All right?
Yep. Thank you.
Sound cool? Shane, that software program is coming really soon. We're just doing tests on it at the moment. So look, guys, I'll just stop the recording certainly now. If you are watching this in recording, I hope you enjoyed it. Please share the love. Please get involved now. And so